Hello and welcome back again. My name is Steven and today, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Woo! So as you guys should know, last episode, we kind of got into a little bit of argument with Emmy and we're still in that. We are going to be finishing on from that. So, let's begin. But the moment passes and now she's composed herself again. Whether that wish was, will have to go unspoken. Look, I can't do this right now. What? Have a serious conversation? Be honest. Be open. Be honest. Give a damn about anyone else besides yourself and your problems. What do you know about my problems? Nothing. You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend you do. I know you have nightmares. I know your father's gone. What happened to him? Emi's head jerks backwards as if I've just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice. That's enough. This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been various on Emmy's stonewalling me. What? You won't even answer that question? Fine. Keep your secrets. They can lie in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Emmy's eyes widen in shock, and then she speaks again in a voice that is low dangerous. Get out of my house, Ishno. The sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger and makes me realise with a dawning horror what I just said. Emmy, I didn't mean... I said, go, Ishno. Tell my mother that she cooked a wonderful meal, but you've forgotten a prior engagement, and get out of my house. She's trembling now, shaking with anger or sadness, or determination. Her voice is still low, controlled, almost a growl. I reached out to put my arm on her shoulder to apologise for going too far, but she jerks it away from my touch. Get out. What can I do? I went out of the kitchen and go to the room and make my apology to her mother and let myself out. Rip indeed, Hishno. Rip indeed. Okay. The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switch it off, open my eyes bleedly to stare at the ceiling. What am I going to do? How do I get out of bed, go down to the track and pretend that nothing happened? Will Emmy even show up? After last evening's events, I doubt it. Even supposing what she did, what would I do then? Get over this fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I've spoken hastily last evening, especially trying to use her father as leverage. But was everything I said really off the mark? She won't let me in, ever. She would just force me to suffer. She would just be forced to suffer alone. Nothing I do, nothing I say is going to change that. She won't change. She won't. She's already decided to keep me at arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her, knowing that I'm never going to get past where I am now? So you just go back to sleep then? No, I can't decide. I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyway. A similar mental conversation repeats itself when it comes time to go to lunch, and I eat in the cafeteria alone. I don't want to see her. The very thought makes me feel ill. The night I go for a run, I'm solo for the first time since Emmy got sick after the track meet. Skip seeing the nurse, just in case he asked about Emmy. I don't want to talk about her either. The next day, I do the same thing. Alarm goes off, stay in bed, eat alone, run alone. Fill the time that I would usually be spending Emmy, I start reading more. It works surprisingly well until I find myself ducking into a restroom because I see her walking down the hall in between classes. If she noticed me, she didn't show it, even though I don't suppose she ever shows anything. Certainly not to the girls from her class. I see her talking cheerfully to her, or to her fellow track members, especially not to me. Alarm off, stay in bed. Misha and I have a lengthy talk about the possibility that string theory is plausible. I don't buy it myself, More than 4 dimensions I can buy, but a bunch of vibrating strings at the subatomic level, that's asking a bit much. Looks like I'm not the only one to think this way. Apparently it's not really as strong a theory as it once was. Mishtu says that just because nobody has found the right way of looking at the data yet. Eat alone. The rooftop is deserted today. I briefly wonder why Emmy and Rin are, but shrug off the question. The important thing is that they ain't here, so I won't have to talk to them. Since I have nobody to talk to, I'll bring my book to read. The weather is nicer if it's getting a little hot. Hopefully it will be cooler in the evening. A cool breeze seems to back up my theory. Run alone. It is in fact cooler at the track. No sign of Emmy, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going for. I stretch out and start my usual run, trying hard to ignore the lack of a running partner in front of me. Finding my thoughts driftily into that girlish laugh, incredible grin, those wide, friendly eyes, her incredibly toned body. I increase the pace to clear my mind, chew up the distance between me and the turns, find the speed that makes me think only of my legs and how much they burn. I glance at my wrist as I round the final turn, notice that my time's getting faster. Is that it? My heart seems a little squealy tonight, so I give myself a few extra cooldown laps just to be safe. No reason to bring this to the nurse's attention, I'll be fine. A rather Emmy-ish thought to have, I admit. I have to hope that eventually I'll stop thinking about her so much. I finish another book before going to bed that night. I have to stop by the library tomorrow. Jesus Christ, this fucking part is boring. Come on, give me some action, damn it, Ishno. I don't know why I keep the early alarm anymore, but it wakes me up the next morning just the same. I still turn it off and go back to sleep. Oh my fucking god. That afternoon, as I get ready to head to the cafeteria for another solo lunch, I've got a new book about a couple of con men in ancient Persia that I'm pretty excited about reading. I'm suddenly cornered by Mishta and... I guess just Mishta. Off to eat alone again, Hichan. We've noticed, you know. Shi-chan, and I noticed that you've been spending more time alone. She wanted me to find out why, so I told her I'll ask you. I'm surprised she didn't ask me herself. She would have, but she wanted to get a head start on some paperwork. There's a lot of it since we're coming up at the end of term, you know. Why there's an interest in my well-being, anyway? Ishino said it. It's the duty of the student council to keep track of the emotional health of its students, to allow a constant to spiritual integration unchecked would be unforgettable failure in the council's duties. Well then, that's easy then. I'm not depressed. But you're eating alone, and no one's seeing you and Emmy together at all. Something happened, didn't it, Isham? Mishta's voice takes a slightly sinister tone, sorry. Even though somehow she keeps the familiar lit at the end of her sentences. I pause my lips, uncertain how to respond. Downplay the issue or give in. Well, if I just downplay it, I'm equally as bad as her. And if I'm trying to open up a lot more, then trying to seal myself is kind of... It kind of goes back on what I'm trying to do myself. Because why would you want someone to open up if you're not going to open up yourself, type of thing. So, I guess... And she might be able to help, you know. She's known her probably a lot longer as well. Well, I suppose someone else knowing about my problems can't hurt. Heck, maybe Mitch can offer some advice. We had a fight at her house. I keep trying to get close to her, and she won't let me get close, and I said something stupid, and she threw me out. Have you talked to her since then? Misha looks genuinely concerned. I'm surprised. I'm almost expected her to drop the subject after finding out what the trouble was. Even more surprising how quickly I find myself spilling my guts to her. No, I haven't. I just can't bring myself to face her after that. I made a complete fool of myself. She probably hates me now anyway. Especially since I haven't seen her since then. You're pretty slowish now. That doesn't sound like advice. Misha places her hand on her hips and launches into a speech that would sound more plausible coming from Shinatu. The situation to your problem is simple. You have to go, apologize to her. Leaving things like this will make things worse. You can't know that she hates you now unless she tells you. Otherwise, there's no evidence that you fear is true. And if you really care about her, wouldn't you be worried about how she's taking all this? With the sun at the start, I realised that she's right. I've kept waking up to an early alarm because a part of me wants to meet Emmy at the track for our runs. I've kept running because I know that Emmy would worry about me if I didn't stay healthy. When I went to the roof yesterday, I was half hoping that she would be up there, and felt disappointed when she wasn't. I'm an idiot. Kinda, Hisham. So, go and apologise to her as soon as you can, okay? I open my mouth to say that I'll do it right away, but the lunch bell rings and I realise that I still have afternoon classes to attend. First thing after class is over, I'll go see her, I promise. And, thanks for the advice, I guess. Misha beams at me, as if I was a child that just learned his ABCs. Good. I'll let you know that you're okay then. Yeah. You do that. And with a wave, and completely disregarding the fact that people are starting to trickle into the classroom, as opposed to out of it, Misha departs the classroom. I suppose she and Shinatuna wouldn't cancel business again. While the While the afternoon wears on, I find myself impatient for the lesson to end. I need to see Emmy now. I have to try to set things right. Even if Emmy hates me now, I have to at least apologise. I owe her that much. Should I meet her in her room? No. I decided it would delay things too much. If I know Emmy, I can find her at the track. Still, I have no idea what I'm going to say when I get there, but I take comfort in knowing that Emmy probably wouldn't have a plan for something like this either. Play it by ear. Stop being nervous and just get to the track. Figure the rest out when I get there. The track looms ahead, and just jolt of nervous hits me in the gut. I resist the urge to turn and walk away, and instead note with satisfaction. Oh god. My voice is fucking killing me. That I was right and Emmy is still running. I don't make myself immediately known. I find a seat in the bleachers, okay, and watch her run instead, thinking back to earlier meetings. After a few trips around the track, Emmy noticed me and skids to a halt, an expression of surprise that slides easily into one of anger. What are you doing here? Not quite the response I hoped for, but at this point, I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologise for what I said the other day. The other day? She laughs. That's got examination of disbelief. It's been almost a weekish, no? Well, yeah, well, better late than never, right? Emmy crossed her arms and stares at me up coolly, as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. What under the bridge, then? I forgive you. Is that all? Her almost impatient question catches me so off guard that she's already halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. No, wait. She doesn't seem to have heard me, or she doesn't want to hear me. So I give chase, disregarding completely the fact that I'm not dressed for it. My feet hurt, and my shirt collar feels like a noose around my neck, but I still chase after her, because I'll lose my chance. Emmy hasn't started to really accelerate yet, which is probably the only reason why I'm able to catch up to her. To reach out and tap her on the shoulder before my legs give up running in dress shoes and stumble to a stop. Surprisingly, unfortunately, all that running seems to have paid off. I'm short of breath, yes, but at least my heart isn't actively trying to force its way out of my ribcage. My touch on her shoulder has stopped Emmy, and while there's a flash of concern when she sees me catching my breath, it seems that she has a good idea what I'm capable of. The concern is short-lived. What? She seems so irritated by my being still there and might almost lose of my nerve. But I've lost my nerve enough. I need to explain myself. Why I can't just let them at a rest. Emmy folds her arms and bounces one blade on the ground instead of tapping her foot impatiently. Angry as she is, and as nervous I am, she looks beautiful. Okay, Ishino, explain. The thing is, I know that you've really sent about the accident, about your dad. I can see Emmy's face twitch at the mention of those two things. That been steadily driving us apart, or at least made me feel like we've been driven apart. But that's why I want to know about them, I think. Because I see how much they hurt you, and I want to be there to comfort you. It makes me miserable seeing you sleepless and depressed, and don't pretend you ain't, because I know you are, okay? Just remember that night when you fell asleep with me, and had that nightmare, and that you were happy to have me there when you woke up. I want to be able to be there for you like that whenever you need me to be. The stern face cracks slightly. Emmy interrupts before I continue further. Just stop right there. We can't see each other anymore, okay? She's rushing now, looking everywhere but me. At me. I'm surprised she doesn't bolt. She knows I can't catch her. We're not right for one another. That's not true and you know it. No, it's true. You're too. I know that I've been pushy about knowing your past. It's just, if you can't tell me yet, then at least let me be there. Even if I don't know the reason. It's okay, I promise. I wouldn't ask why you need comfort. I'll just give it freely. Emmy's shaking her head and tears seem to be threatening the concerns of her eyes. Stop saying that. Why? Because you're afraid you'll take me up on it? I'm not afraid. I can't keep the chinning tone from my voice as I respond. Yes, you are. You told me so yourself, remember? That's okay, it really is. However, it seems to me that someone who managed to come out of that wreck and still be as energetic and cheerful as you are would be determined enough to face that fear. Determination? What do you know about determination? I know that there's a girl so determined to take control of a total stranger that she steal his food at a festival. I know that there's a girl so determined to help me with my own problems that she'll draw up a completely directly an exercise plan. That she not only drew up the plans, but she followed them with me, even when she couldn't run. Determined enough to keep me at arm's length when she'll put herself through emotional pain if she thought it was the right thing to do. Although, there's one thing that this determined girl didn't quite plan for, which was that I might feel the same kind of determination to keep her from being hurt. I fell in love with you. I refuse to let that be thrown away because you're afraid of losing me. What low control Emmy still has at this point cracks, and I find myself suddenly enveloped in her embrace as she cries. Why are you doing this? Why can't you just leave me alone? I hold her close and plant a kiss on top of her head. I'm sorry, Emmy. You helped me when I first arrived, so now I have to help you. It's only fair. You're utterly helpless. Did you know that? She hiccups and trembles a little. Funny, I could say the same thing about you. Can you do something for me, Hishno? Anything. Can you go now? It feels like she just shoved a knife through my chest. Go? I need to think, okay? I can't just tell you everything yet. I'm still scared. And when you're around, I can't think clearly. But do me another favour. What's that? Show up for our morning run tomorrow. I smile, feeling better than I have all week. Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Emmy steps back. Almost reluctantly, she sniffs a little, and then grins at me. A real smile that lightens up the track, overpowered the fading evening light. See you tomorrow, Hishno. Okay. She darts forward suddenly, planting a soft kiss on my lips, and then steps back shyly. Sprinting off Sprinting on her back foot, she takes off running again, and I know that our conversation is at an end. My lips tingle with the warmth of that brief kiss, and the memories of other longer kisses. I walk back to my room with a spring in my step. Tomorrow, my alarm goes off. I'll get up. And that is where I'll end today's episodes. Okay, what's this? Ooh, we're on Act 4. Well, there you guys go. That's the end of Act 3 then. Yay. So we're on our final act, which is really cool. So it definitely means that the story is going to be definitely wrapping up sooner than later. But yeah, anyway guys, if you've all enjoyed, and as always, do the normal YouTubey stuff, and I'll see you all next time. Till then everyone, peace out.